Hello, hello, hello. Hope this is reaching you well. This is Ken from RD Labs coming to you with an absolute banger, absolute another one. So let's get straight to it. If you haven't downloaded the RD Labs DeFi checklist, please make sure you click the link in the description. You can download this for free. It gives you, let's say, your own journal in terms of all the process you need to take before you decide to actually invest or trade any specific project within the crypto space. Gives you information such as on-page analysis, off-page analysis, understanding whether the project has an existing product or it's on testnet, on mainnet. All these areas are really critical to be able to help you, number one, to minimize the risk of getting scammed or rug pulled, and number two, to increase the chances of you getting and investing in a project that can really do extremely well. So today we're going to talk about a project called Offchain Labs, and basically this is we call this Arbitrum. So Arbitrum, we'll call, it's a bit of a tongue teaser, so I'm going to call it ARB. This is essentially the next generation scaling for Ethereum dApps. This is essentially one of the roll-ups that we're starting to hear about now more than ever in terms of how to be able to improve the scalability aspect on layer 2 of Ethereum, and also decrease costs to literally a small amount or to essentially zero, right? And with roll-ups, is the ultimate aim of roll-up is essentially to find ways to basically bundle all the transfers into one specific transaction, right? So there's a host of projects that's really looking to make a dent in the specific layer 2 space. We have obviously sidechain such as Matic, such as Polygon, right? We also have Optimism that's really working on some interesting things. We have Starkware. We have also ZK Sync. So there's a lot of interesting players in the space, really building something as the next generation, right? As you know, where we believe that this whole space is going to, especially on the layer 2 aspect. So just wanted to pull you up. So this is their site. Just wanted to go to their actual Twitter account. Today, they're actually launching basically on the mainnet. So they're opening the door. Today's the 28th. Open the doors to developers to be able to utilize their mainnet function. So if we click on this link, it can be able to give you more information in terms of what they're doing. Let's quickly just breathe over this. Gas fees are high and Ethereum users need relief, so on and so forth. So what they're doing here is, when we previously announced the release of the candidate testnet, they did not include the sequencer. So what this meant was transactions did not get instant responses and had the same latency as Ethereum. So basically on the testnet that it initially had, they didn't actually implement the sequencer. So now they're doing it on the mainnet, which is really, really good. Then they said fair launch. We have two important principles guiding our launch. Arbitrum, ARB, yes, is a community project and open to everyone. We welcome all projects and users and won't be picking winners or giving specific projects priority access. We want to make sure ARB has an active and vibrant ecosystem for users as soon as it's available. So it's providing the platform that people can then literally start using, start building really dApps upon that. So it's really interesting for those developers, for those that are really interested in utilizing and building things upon Ethereum. This is something as a go-to. What we will be doing within the next series, really be talking about and taking a look and doing some more research and due diligence about the various roll-ups that building upon the layer 2 stack, and to really see which ones far in terms of the roadmap regarding development, what are the pros and cons of each, right? And where do you fit in terms of, if you decide as from a project aspect to build something, where's that lie? And also from those that are investors or traders or people who have a keen interest in the growth of the whole blockchain, to really keep an eye on what's happening. So they said when, so we'll open the Ethereum, so Arbitrum Ethereum mainnet for developers on May, so that's today. That's obviously, this is quite an old Medium report, and it gives you more information who's joining. So I'll add all this details in the description. Then I also wanted to give you a more of an in-depth understanding of what Arbitrum and what they're actually doing. So here it basically shows here, Ethereum offers enticing security properties for processing specific logic smarts, obviously Solidity smart contracts. So Arbitrum essentially supports secure smart contracts using off-chain protocol that gives smart contract developers the flexibility to move most of the work of smart contract execution off-chain. So it's giving you the opportunity that you can be able to work on building stuff off-chain, and then essentially to nodes running the Arbitrum protocol while maintaining the trustless security of Ethereum. So they're really trying to have this hybrid approach, right? And essentially offering the low cost aspect and the high throughput capabilities by computing Solidity in that way. So what we've seen is sometimes that people say in terms of Polygon is an interesting rollup, i.e., like a sidechain, but ultimately there's some element of risk to that, right? But what they're trying to do is really give the opportunity of increasing the throughput, storage capacity, the bandwidth, and really by also reducing and essentially eliminating the gas costs. We'll see whether this is going to really come to fruition, whether they can fully eliminate the gas cost, but this is something they're really talking about. So I'll obviously add this details in the description so people can be aware of that. There's also quite an interesting podcast here, and this podcast is actually between the co-founder of Offchain Labs, so Arbitrum. We've got co-founder of Starkware, founder of ZK Sync, contributor of Optimism Systems lead. So I'm going to actually add this. This is a podcast, so quite an interesting debate just in terms of everyone's viewpoint. I'll add this into the description so people can really learn, understand more about where this whole space is moving to. Extremely important. So let's just go back to the specific site here. So here it says now live on Ethereum testnet. I think very soon, because obviously I'm Central European time, so we'll wait for the actual link to come out where people can be able to go to the mainnet. Doesn't seem like it's been updated thus far, but what you can actually do is you can be able to then go onto the testnet, click on the testnet. It'll give you more information about where to go to and really to find and understand more about how this works. Really interesting in terms of what they're doing. So let's just go back to here. So here, just give you some more information in terms of what people think about whether this is an interesting space. I also wanted to note, Arbitrum have actually now sealed a deal with Etherscan to essentially bring the best Ethereum block explorer to Arbitrum, right? So this is quite an interesting aspect that they can be able to connect and really merge the opportunity here. So if we break this down here, it says, we announced that Alchemy will be bringing their popular developer platform to Arbitrum. And today we're announcing a partnership with the gold standard of Ethereum block explorers, Etherscan, which is fantastic. So one of the most important tools for both developers and end users alike is a top-notch block explorer, and there is no parallel to Etherscan. So what they're doing is really integrating the aspect of having between Etherscan as they interact in between the Ethereum layer 1 and layer 2 aspects. So they're really putting the groundwork in to be able to provide a seamless and effective and smooth environment for developers to be able to build upon. So we'll be keeping everyone updated in terms of how that progresses, what are the next step regarding that. So if we just scroll down here, just give you more information in terms of the rollup. So here the rollup can scale any Ethereum contract. It's ideal scaling solution for many dApps. We've got channels, which is basically a fixed set of participants here that will be coming soon. We've got obviously a side chain, a permission set of validators to essentially guarantee the correctness, as long as even when they're honest using any trust guarantees. So it really also bridges the gap and really gives you more information in terms of the pros and cons to what to look at in terms of rollups, sidechains, channels, L1 Ethereum, which are permissionless here, and also the cost aspect. Just really giving a heads up to the pros and cons from a developer aspect, what to really look at and where to really go to if you then now are looking at building a dApp, right? Then it gives you more information. So give you a quick heads up. They will not be, from my understanding, they will not be releasing a token as of yet. Could be in the future. We don't know at the moment, but they're just giving this environment for people to be able to build upon it. So I do like the whole community. I like where they're moving to this. I will be giving you more updates. The next video, I will be basically moving on and essentially going into the other interesting rollups such as we said, ZK Sync, Starkware, Optimism. So these are interesting areas. I'm really going to focus a lot on the layer 2 aspect now, just to see how things will progress. So in the meantime, if you have any questions, let me know. Please make sure you download the checklist, and I'm going to be back with you with another one.